On lowland areas that are not covered by ice sheets, as is constituted by the overwhelming majority of land in Europe, renewable water resources come from precipitation. These resources are used by people and by nature. The water levels in lakes and rivers are dependent upon them. The catchment area is the entirety of the area from which water flows to one point of a given river. If it's in balance, containing natural wetlands and floodplains, then precipitation will replenish groundwater resources. These groundwater resources ensure a stable supply of surface water during periods without rain. Though the overall amount of precipitation has not changed significantly, there is less and less water. It is estimated that the water resources of most countries in Europe are shrinking. Global warming means that most rainfall is falling during periods of greater evaporation. Due to changes made to catchment areas by man, water from precipitation is more poorly retained. The chemicalization of agriculture limits the absorption of water into the soil, so it flows faster into major waterways. Underground resources are renewed significantly more slowly than in the past. The groundwater level is falling. In the summer, more and more countries are introducing limits on water usage. Droughts are causing soil erosion, crops fail, food prices rise. Falling groundwater levels cause trees in woodlands to become more vulnerable to pests and disease and die. Lakes and rivers dry up. At the same time, the risk of flooding is growing. Transformed catchments are resilient neither to water shortages nor to excess water. The character of precipitation has changed together with the climate. There is less snowfall in the winter, yet snow was largely responsible for renewing groundwater resources. Periods without rain are lengthening, and when the rain does fall, it falls in torrents. A transformed catchment quickly carries water away to rivers and oceans, so drought can return just a few days after rain. Agricultural lands and woodland constitute around 80% of the surface of Europe. Here rain falls. How much water we will have depends on how much water we can store on these lands. Melioration, through systems of weirs and check dams, should facilitate the retention of water on agricultural lands. In practice, melioration is more frequently used only to drain, to quickly carry away water. Deep ditches, drainage of catchments and maintenance works on waterways all cause water to flow away from agricultural land, and the groundwater level is constantly falling. Woodland, particularly on mountainous terrain, where Europe's major rivers have their sources, should absorb water like a sponge and slowly give it up in times of deficit. Precipitation in mountains is more plentiful than in other areas. Unfortunately, mountains crisscrossed by road networks, full of forestry clear-cuts and concreted stream banks, do not fulfill their role in water retention as well as natural ecosystems. The problem of sealing catchment areas also applies to towns and cities. Every additional patch of concrete means that more water flows away, and less is absorbed to feed the groundwater. How much water is held in a park full of old trees, and how much in a car park? The protection of water resources does not require technocratic solutions, innovation or massive investments. All that's needed is a little space. Catchments containing floodplains and soils rich in organic matter hold more water than reservoirs. The place for water is in the landscape. There it can serve man, nature, and agriculture. Water in the landscape is our common good.